Good morning, my students and viewers. I welcome you to my today's lecture. I want to discuss a new item from English second paper. It's modifiers. Modifier is an important grammatical item for you. It is new in the sense that you didn't have this topic in your SSC level, right? Though you used modifiers in your sentences, but you didn't know it specifically as another new item. But in SSC level, it has been selected for you as an important grammatical factor. My dear students, it carries 5 marks, and I think that this item is to some extent easier than the use of prepositions. To understand modifier, at first we want to see the origin of the word modifier. Yes, let us see our important origin. And modifier, the English word, has come from a Latin origin, and it is modifica. And modifica has an etymological meaning. What is that etymological meaning? It means to make a partial or minor change to something. That is, modifier means to change or to restrict or limit meaning of something. Now we can explain modifiers from morphological point of view. What is the formation of the word modifier? In fact, modifier is the combination of two. First, a verb, that is modify, and another suffix er. Modify plus er is a suffix and modify is a verb. Now what does the verb modify mean? I have already mentioned the meaning of the word. Modify means to make some change, some partial alteration of something. Okay, this is the formation of the word modifier. Now, what is the grammatical meaning of the word modifier? Modifier is a word, phrase or clause that limits or qualifies, modifies or limits or qualifies the sense of another word or phrase. My dear students, in English grammar, modifier has a greater perspective, a greater meaning and significance. And to know and to have better conception of modifier, let us consult and see the definitions. At first, let us see the definition of modifier as given in Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. According to this dictionary, modifier is a word, especially an adjective or noun used attributively that restricts or adds to the sense of a head noun. According to this definition, modifier is an adjective or a noun, okay, and its function is to restrict or adds some meaning to another word, another noun. Next, you can see the definition given by another dictionary, that is Cambridge English Dictionary. Modifier is a word or phrase that is used with another order phrase to limit or add to its meaning. Almost same, but there is some modification in the definition of Cambridge Dictionary. What is that? In Advanced Learners Dictionary, modifier is called an adjective or noun, but in Cambridge Dictionary, it is not specifically mentioned the part of a speech. Simply says that modifier is a word. Even it may be a phrase, all right, which is used with some other word or phrase. Thus, we can give a general definition of modifiers. And what is that? Modifier is a word or a phrase or a clause which comes either before or after another word or phrase in order to give some extra information about the modified elements or the head word or phrase. And this is the complete definition of modifier. In fact, modifier is not only a word, it may be also a phrase. Even a modifier can be a clause. All right, keep in mind. What is modifier? Your answer is modifier is a word or a phrase or a clause. Next question. Where is it used? Our answer is that it may be used either before or after the modified word or the head word. What I mean by head word or the head, it is called the head or the head word. By the head or the head word, I mean the word or phrase which is modified. That is, the modified element is called head word or the head. And modifier is used either before or after this head or head word. And the third question, why is it used? Our answer is that modifier is used to give some extra information about the word it modifies. Okay? And to know modifier, we want to give you some examples. And please see the information about example. You can see the first example. A good student works very hard. Red lettered words are modifiers. In the slide you can see red colored words are modifiers. Student is the head or the head word, because the student is modified. The modified word is head word, and it is modified with two other words. First, article. Secondly, good. A good student. So, how is the student? The student is good. Good modifies or qualifies the student. So, it is a modifier. Also indicates the student. A student. How many students? A student. So, both a and good modify the noun student. So, they are modifiers. I again say that modifier may be a word. So, a is a word. Good is also a word. So, modifier is a word. First one. Second condition, it is used either before or after. Here, both a and good come before student. So, this is the position. Where is the position? Before the noun. Third question, why is it used? It is used to give some information about student. So, a and good are modifiers. I think that is clear to you. Again, look at very and hard. Hard is an adverb. Hard modifies works. Works is the verb and hard is the adverb. Hard modifies the word works. As it modifies the verb, it is also a modifier. Okay? Then very. Very is another adverb. It is also a modifier. What does it modify? Very modify the adverb hard. How much hard? Very hard. Very modifies hard. Okay? Hard is a modifier modifying works. Again, very is another modifier modifying adverb hard. Do you understand? To know modifier, you have to learn different parts of speech, phrases and clauses. Okay? Good is an adjective. So, in the first example, we find that adjective and adverb belong to the category of modifier. Okay? My dear student, what does adjective modify? Adjective modifies mainly noun. For example, good. What does adverb modify? Do you know? If we look at the example, hard. Hard is an adverb. It modifies verb. That is, adverb mainly modifies verb. Secondly, a modifier can modify another adverb. Example, very. Very itself is an adverb. It modifies another adverb, hard. Thus, an adverb can modify another adverb. My dear student, adverb can also modify adjective. For example, she looks very beautiful. Beautiful is an adjective. Very is an adverb. But in this sentence, very beautiful, very modifies beautiful, the adjective. So, adverb, I repeat, keep in mind, an adverb modifies three things. First, verb. Second, adverb. Third, adjective. Right? In the second sentence, I saw an old blind man with a stick. In this sentence, man is a noun. It is a head word. And before that head word, you can find an. An is an article. It is a determiner. It modifies the man. So, an is a modifier. Secondly, old is an adjective. It modifies the man. What kind of man? Old man. So, old is another modifier. Again, blind. This is an adjective. It also modifies man. Altogether, the three words and old, blind modify the noun man. So, all of them are modifiers. Again, you can see with a stick. This is a phrase. You must have clear concept of phrase. I discussed in one of my classes, previous classes, about phrase. What is phrase? A phrase is a group of words without subject and finite form with a stick. In this phrase, there is no subject, no finite verb, but it is a group of words. So, it is a phrase. I have mentioned that a phrase can also be a modifier. In this sentence, with a stick modifies man. Which man? What kind of man? That man who has a stick with him. The man that carries a stick. Thus, the phrase qualifies man. So, this phrase is also a modifier. So, modifier doesn't mean only a simple single word. It can also be a phrase like with a stick. See the next example. The boy who is diligent can succeed to prosper in life. The is an article. It indicates boy. It is the definite article. So, it determines the boy. So, it is also a modifier. All determiners are modifiers. Now, see who is diligent. Is it a phrase or clause? You can see a subject who and a verb is. Who is diligent? It is a clause because it is a part of that sentence and it contains a subject who and a verb is. So who is diligent is a clause. In this sentence, this clause is also a modifier. Why? I have mentioned in my definition that modifier may be a clause. It is a clause first. Secondly, it is used after boy, the head word or the noun. Thirdly, it gives us information about boy. Because of these three qualities, who is diligent is a modifier, modifying boy. Am I clear? Now another phrase you can see, to prosper in life. It is a phrase, infinitive phrase, because it is a group of words, but it doesn't have any subject and finite verb. So it's a phrase. This phrase modifies the verb succeed. The boy can succeed. Why? What is the purpose of this success? The purpose is to prosper in life. So this phrase modifies the verb succeed. So it is also a modifier, modifying the verb. Now, fourth example, a barking dog seldom bites. Dog is a noun, it is a head word. Barking is a present participle. What is a present participle? Present participle is a kind of non-finite verb which takes ing and functions as an adjective. Here, barking is an adjective in the form of a present participle. It modifies dog. Who is dog? The dog that barks. Okay? Barking modifies the word dog, so it is a modifier as a present participle. Again, I have already discussed. Is another modifier. Now seldom. What kind of part of speech is it? Seldom. Seldom is an adverb. Okay? It modifies bites. How often does the dog bite? How many times does the dog bite? The answer is seldom. In Bangla, kadachit, rarely. As seldom modifies the verb, it is a modifier in the form of an adverb. Basically, as a part of a speech, it is adverb. As it modifies the verb bites, it is also a modifier. Now the fifth example, city slum dwellers. Dwellers, noun. Dwellers is a noun or the head word. This word is modified by two another words, two nouns. First, city. City is a noun. a noun can also be a modifier. How? When a noun comes before another noun, the first noun functions as the adjective of the second noun. The first noun is called noun adjective. Here, city is a noun adjective modifying dwellers. Another noun, slum. Slum is another noun. This noun also modifies dwellers. Alright? Both the nouns modify dwellers. Both of them are modifiers. Another example for your understanding, a college boy. Boy is a noun, college is another noun. Here, college is the adjective and boy is the noun. The college is a modifier in the form of a noun. Sometimes a noun thus can be a modifier. Another example, this is an English class. Class is a noun, English is another noun. English modifies the class. So English is also a modifier. My dear students, I think that you can understand all these simple examples regarding modifiers. Now we can see some more information about modifiers. Now, what is that? Why is modifier necessary? Is it essential or not? Point by point, I have given you some information about the functions or the necessity of modifier. First, modifier is necessary to describe or explain something or someone. Secondly, modifier is necessary to give some extra information that we have already seen in our previous examples. Okay? It is also essential for changing or elaborating meaning. Sometimes we want to give more elaborate meaning or sense, and for that purpose we use modifier. Furthermore, modifier restricts or limits meaning. On the one hand, it can elaborate meaning. On the other hand, it can restrict or limit meaning. And then modifier is also necessary to enrich and embellish sentences, language, and make them more interesting, attractive to the listeners. All right? We can say something very simply. She is a girl. So here girl is simply used without modifier. But if we say she is a beautiful girl, we can say she is a very beautiful girl. We can also say she is a very beautiful, smart girl. We can again add some more modifiers. She is a very beautiful, smart, fashionable girl. Okay? So thus modifiers are used to enrich, embellish our sentences and we use them to make sentences more meaningful, more interesting and decorative. Thus, modifier is important grammatical item that we very often use in our sentences. But you should keep in mind that modifier is not a must for grammatical reason. If we remove a modifier or if we add some modifier, it doesn't make any grammatical effect to any sentence. For example, if I say the boy can make a good result, we say the boy. It is right, grammatically right, the boy can make a good result. It is grammatically correct. But if we say the industrious boy can make a good result, industrious boy, we have added a modifier industrious. So it doesn't make any effect on the grammatical factors. Okay? It can just elaborate or restrict meaning, nothing else. Right? So keep in mind, modifier is important, but it is not a must for grammatical correctness of any sentence. Right? Now I want to discuss how you should use modifiers, where you should use modifiers. We know what a modifier is. We know. Even you can know the classification of modifiers. But if you don't know the rules, where and how we should use them, it would be meaningless. My dear students, to know modifier means you have to use them in your real life situation, in your own sentence. If you can use them yourself correctly, it is the meaning of learning modifier. And I want you to make able to use modifiers yourself in your own sentences. Now see, I have made some important points about the rules of using modifiers. Number one, find the modified word or the head word that you want to modify. Suppose girl. Suppose girl, this is just the head word. The head or the head word. We can select this word that we want to modify. Okay, so when you want to use modifier in a sentence, at first select the word or the phrase or the clause that you want to modify. So I want to modify this word gird. So this is the first duty. Second, select appropriate modifiers that you need to use. Suppose you want to say that the girl is brilliant. You want to say, and this brilliant is the modifier that you need to express the meaning. So here we can use brilliant. Brilliant girl. So this is the modifier and this is the head word or the noun. So the second duty is to select your modifier and this is the modifier. You can also add some more modifiers if you want. Suppose the, it is also another modifier. That is, you want to make the girl definite. So you can add more and more modifiers that you need to use. Okay. Now the third point is that use your modifier either before the modified word or after the modified word. So you have to select the position or the place where you should use. Okay, and in this case you must keep in mind the most important factor. It is that use the modifier as close as possible to the word that you want to modify. It means you must insert the modifier just very closely, either before or after that head word. But we often have some mistakes. While we go to use modifier, we misplace them. We can't use at proper position, and this makes the sentence and the meaning absurd, humorous, even dangerous. Yes, I want to give you some examples. If you fail to use modifiers at proper place, in proper position. I saw a dead cow running in the park. Look at this sentence. I saw a dead cow running in the park. There is a modifier. This phrase, it is a phrase and it is a modifier, running in the park. Now, what is the meaning of this sentence? I saw a dead cow. আমি একটি মৃত গরুকে দেখেছিলাম রানিং ইন দ্য পার্ক, পার্কে দৌড়তে দেখেছি। মৃত একটা গাভী বা গরুকে পার্কে আমি দৌড়তে দেখেছিলাম। How is it possible for a dead cow to run in the park? So it is quite absurd. Alright? That is, I have failed to use the modifier at proper place. In fact, this modifiers does not modify the cow. Wrong. Running in the park doesn't modify the cow. In fact, who was running? In fact, I was running. Okay? So let me use the modifier properly. While I was running in the park, I saw a dead cow. Now it is meaningful. While I was running in the park, আমি যখন পার্কে দৌড়াচ্ছিলাম, জগিং করছিলাম, I saw a dead cow. So this is the modifier. Even there is some change. Even you can say, while running in the park, it is also correct. While walking in the park, or while I was walking in the park, I saw a dead cow. Okay? Now it is meaningful. But in this sentence, it was absurd. But I have some change here. Without change, we can also use some modifiers. How? If we fail to use modifier properly, sometimes it becomes humorous, funny. How? Let me see. I saw a girl with long beard to talk with a boy in blue sari. Look at this sentence. I saw a girl with long beard. This is a modifier. In fact, it is a phrase. This phrase modifies girl. Girl with long beard মানে কি লম্বা দাড়িওয়ালা মেয়েকে দেখেছিলাম. This is really funny, is it not? How it's possible for a girl to have long beard? Yes, দু একটি মেয়ের হয়তো ছোট দু একটা দাড়ি থাকতেও পারে, but it's different, right? But long beard, it is really funny and absurd. Again, to talk with a boy in blue sari. There is another modifier in blue sari. It is a phrase. It modifies boy. How it is possible for a boy to move in blue sari? অর্থাৎ নীল শাড়ি পরিহিত একটা ছেলের সাথে কথা বলছে. লম্বা দাড়িওয়ালা একটা মেয়ে নীল শাড়ি পরিহিত একটা ছেলের সাথে কথা বলছে. Now, what is the mistake? I have misplaced modifiers. উল্টা পাল্টা আমি ব্যবহার করে ফেলেছি, যা তোমরাও করো। এটা যাতে না হয়, that is our concern. Now, if we interchange, take this one in blue shadi, use in blue shadi next to the girl, because this modifier modifies girl. You must use your modifier just close to the word you modify. Okay, and take with long beard after the boy. That is, with long beard modify the boy. ছেলেটির দাড়ি লম্বা ছিল. It is correct. Okay, মেয়েটি ছিল নীল শাড়ি পরিহিত. So এভাবে হসপস হয়ে যেতে পারে। সো এখানে আমরা মেইন কনসার্নটি কি আমি যা বোঝাতে চেয়েছি তোমাদের, দ্যাট ইজ ইউ মাস্ট ইউজ দ্য মডিফায়ার অ্যাজ ক্লোজ অ্যাজ পসিবল টু দ্য ওয়ার্ড দ্যাট ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু modify, either just before or just after the word. Am I clear? So that is the third point, and this is most important point why you should use modifier. You should also keep some other important factors in your mind. What is that? Adjectives, simple adjective, single adjective is usually used before the head word. Beautiful girl, simple adjective, beautiful, it is used before the head word. An intelligent boy, boy is the head word. Intelligent is a simple single adjective. So simple single adjective are usually used just before the head or head word, without exception. There are some exceptions. Single adjective can also come after a head word. For example, the man dead is not known to me. Dead is an adjective, simple single adjective, but here it comes after man. It modifies the man. But in some cases, single simple adjective may come after the head word, but usually single adjective comes before the head word. Next point, adjective phrases and clauses usually come after the head word. Okay, the boy who came here is known to me. Who came here is an adjective clause. Adjective clause, adjective phrase are usually used after the head word. Next point, adverb. Adverbs, adverb phrases, adverb clauses usually come around the head word. Keep in mind, an adverb can come either before or after the head word. Adverb phrase, adverb clause in the same way. For example, if you study, you will pass. If you study a clause, adverbial clause, here it comes before the head word. But you can also say, you can pass if you study hard. If you study hard, this clause has now come after the head word. So adverb, adverb clause, adverb phrase may come around the head word, either before or after. Next point that I have mentioned is that there are some limiters. For example, only, rarely, barely, almost. All these are the limiters. Those words which are used to limit some sense or meaning are called limiters. And limiters also come before the head word. They are used before the head word. So I have mentioned where you should use modifiers and how. My dear students, in the next class, I want to show the classification of modifiers with example. And in one class, we shall do some exercise. I want to solve from your comment box. So in the next class, let us discuss the classification of modifiers with example. My dear students, please join our classes regularly and attentively, and use your khata and pen, of course. All the best. See you next.